Hello! So everybody liked my flip-throughs of my Hobonichi Techo, just the A6 version so much that I decided to do a video of how I use my Hobonichi Cousin, which is the A5 size. This was my first year I started with a Cousin because I just couldn't get enough of the Techo, and so here's kind of how I use it as a planner and an art journal. I went ahead and did get the Dolphin cover, and I did the Hobonichi Cousin Avec, which means it's split up into 2 years because as you can see, I've already got quite a bit of chunk in this Hobonichi, and I've only used it for like a month and a half. So I just use a little decal and the cover on cover here to decorate it, and I just love how many pockets there are to kind of organize my stickers and things I want to use in here and stuff like that. And then I just got a book cover from work. It's a broad art plastic cover, and I just covered my Avec with it. And then I printed on a sheet of acetate to put in there so you could kind of see through it, but it still had a nice design. So then as you open it up, I've just kind of got like a list of things I want to use, some sticky notes, things like that. And then this is just me experimenting with some alcohol inks on a back sheet of acetate from a sticker book. Then we have like the 2019 calendar, which I just decorated with some washi tape, and here was again some alcohol ink play on a paper page protector that I actually made into a pocket so I can stick things in it. This is just sort of the Hobonichi spread of the year. I don't really use it much except to kind of just track birthdays and anniversaries and things like that. I also actually don't use the monthly section very much. I bought my Hobonichi in February. It arrived in the middle of February, so I actually didn't really do anything for January except just kind of a faux calligraphy sheet I printed off of Pinterest and some watercolors. This is what February looks like. I mostly just use it for stickers and a few important things. For the most part, I keep a lot of my stuff on my iPhone calendar. This is March. As you can see, again, I just kind of have some to-do lists, some stickers, and some fun watercolor backgrounds. I've got my countdown going. My sister and I are going to Florida at the end of April, so I've got my countdown of days left until then. And then you go into the weekly pages, which everybody really loves for Hobonichi Cousin, as far as what I had learned in my research. So the first page, since I actually didn't have it at this point in time of the year, I just used it to kind of map out my plans, how I wanted to use my Cousin, how I wanted to like improve things, how goals I had for it, what supplies I wanted to use, ideas, and tracking and things. So that was kind of my brainstorm on how I plan to use it. This is just a running list of art supplies I want, things I want to buy for the house or do, stuff like that. So then these are just more of the pages because I actually didn't start planning. This is Florida. Of course, I'm planning for Florida, my trip, and that page. But I actually didn't get my Hobonichi till the 12th of February. So this is actually the first full week I did in here where I actually planned. So I just have like weekly to-dos on the side, a quote because I was doing a word of the week for a while. I track my bearded dragons and my snakes' feedings and things like that. And then kind of on Sunday I have a roundup of my stats. So this is kind of just how my weeks have been. They're just kind of a way for me to have fun and plan my week throughout, plan, record weather or things like that, and use up some stickers throughout. I just really like some of these stickers I found as long as printables from Little Raven Ink, which I'll have throughout. Courtney Diaz is amazing. I love her artwork and I love sticking her stuff everywhere. My work schedule really remains the same throughout the week, but it just kind of likes to see it there and kind of plan around it and record what's happening. This was one of my favorite weeks. This was this last week. I got some stickers from Wish that actually turned out really well and look really good. This week is in progress. I normally watercolor my weekly pages 1 or 2 weeks in advance because what happens is once you start sticking stickers and gluing things down, the next side of the page puckers up really bad if you don't, if you put watercolor on it and it's already glued down. So I like to apply the watercolor when they're still really fresh and clean. So after you get past the weekly pages, I plan to do a collage on this page. I just haven't gotten there yet. We started in January, and again, I didn't actually have my Hobonichi at this time, but I did have a journal I was keeping that just happened to be A5 size, so I just taped a couple of those pages in, so that's like from my previous journal. So I'm just kind of working on filling in the pages in between with just some fun things. I have a plan for a quote right here. More Little Raven Ink stuff. I was playing with my watercolors, my big watercolor palette that I have shown you guys in the previous videos. I just always like to do a spread of my watercolors on here just to kind of keep it fresh. These are the Paul Rubens glitter watercolors that I got that I just had to test out. They're amazing. I really like them. I just wanted to put them in here. And then I have different like fountain pen inks, distress inks, things like that that I test to see if they bleed through, because I can't stand it when things bleed through. So that was my test page. These are some of my Pigma microns, and this is my tiny watercolor kit. So then to fill up these pages before the actual pages I get to daily, I'm just putting some artwork and stuff in here. This is actually a piece of tracing paper. I traced an image off a magazine and did a watercolor background and glued her in. I really like how she kind of came together. This was another test of how the medias could hold up. I used gesso and acrylic ink and acrylic paints and watercolor, and they really did a good job of not bleeding through. So I was just kind of testing some stuff here and playing with watercolors and things like that. This is another sticker I got that I just printed off onto tracing paper to kind of let it see through. And this is from that previous journal I kept before I had my Hobonichi, just another page where I was writing about life and my bearded dragons. So just kind of some more artwork here. And then I'm kind of just going through the pages and playing with washes and working on filling them up previously. So I obviously don't have anything here until I start to get to February, where I started to actually have it. So just some more pictures, and then this is actually the first day I had my Hobonichi, where I kind of was just doing some journaling, using up some stickers, things like that. And so each day I kind of just fill it with words and stickers and pictures. These were some free downloads I got off Facebook. This is another thing I bought from Etsy. So I kind of am just filling in my days and drawing them. And it's really nice to just have a whole page a day instead of the smaller one from the A5. It's really nice to just have this, well, from the A6, sorry. This is the A5. It's nice to have that bigger spread. So just some drawings. I just kind of do whatever I want daily. I really like the tip ends. This is something Jane Davenport had posted on her Instagram. Things I ripped from a book, just kind of inspirational quotes. It really just kind of depends on the day I'm having and how I want to decorate it. This was a collage I did with some little Raven Ink stuff, a magazine, and my own things. Just some stickers I got from Dollar Tree. So I just kind of play around. This page I was really feeling acrylics. I used to be a huge acrylics fan, and so I did some acrylics, and I really like how they turned out. These are the Dilutions Paints acrylics, and they turned out really nice. This is a little journal monster I made. More of Jane, or not Jane, sorry, this is Courtney Little Raven Ink's art. Sometimes I print it on the tracing paper or the vellum because it has sort of a see-through quality I like. So I do actually participate in the Hobonichi challenge. I normally do it in my smaller Hobonichi, but this month I just liked the theme. It was on the beach so much that I put it in the big one too. So I did a couple of the first pages. I was really mad because my fountain pen kind of smeared right here, so that was kind of really annoying. But basically I just am kind of creating and playing with watercolors depending on my day. It's just really nice to hang out in here and just print some things and make collages and stuff. This was just mixing colors. Some days I just want to play with my watercolors. I think that quote was that day I just really wanted to play, and it didn't necessarily matter how it looked, but it turned out looking really good. Just more watercolor play and a quote from a coloring page at work that I had, some more journaling. These days I just really like the way the watercolor spread on the page and kind of sprinkled out, so I didn't want to put much on it. I was playing with my Jane Davenport rub-ons. Those are a lot of fun. Another magazine clipping. Some more rub-ons I got from Tuesday Morning. It's a kind of a discount store here in Kansas that they have like discount prices and things, so I got some fun stuff. Spring was coming, so getting more magazine clippings, rub-ons, and testing out a new green ink. This was my spring collage that I did just yesterday. I just was really stressed, and just putting all the flowers in here was really nice and fun for spring. So that's kind of where I am right now. The back pages I haven't really even used much, obviously, because here's like a test page where I'm throwing some colors on. But of course I'll fill this up completely and then I'll go on to the second one. I've just got a couple bookmarks in the back. I kind of, it makes me mad when I get ink and paint on my cover, so that's kind of why that bookmark is shoved in there with the cover on cover, so it kind of keeps it secure. My two pin loops, I keep a blue pin and a black pin on these sides, and of course this is just my pencil board that I use occasionally, especially when I'm worried about smearing. But that is the flip through. I guess these little monthly tabs I ordered off of wish.com. I really love that thing for getting kind of some fun things. They have the month in there and then the tab. So that's kind of how I'm using my Hobonichi Cousin right now, and I'll check back in with you guys in a couple months when it's more complete. Thank you so much for watching and for commenting. I really appreciate it.